It feels like the world is just buzzing with uncertainty right now, with the rising costs of living, with the rising tensions within the countries. Maybe the systems that we are supposed to trust maybe don't seem so trustworthy anymore. And if you're living in the United States, you may be starting to consider potentially moving somewhere else. And not to say that you have to escape or that any country is perfect, because every single country has its problems. But if you are someone who has always had this itch to move abroad or to explore another culture or to challenge yourself to step outside of your comfort zone, maybe now is the time you're starting to think that this is actually something you'd be willing to do. And if you're somebody who has a remote job or are working freelance for yourself or has some sort of online anything, you are in an especially good position to be able to move abroad. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the most up-to-date visa options for digital nomads or people wanting to start a business abroad where you can actually live for longer than 6 months so that you can actually create a life abroad if that's something that you want to do. We're going to start with the countries that have more difficult visas to get and end with the easiest visa to get, which actually may surprise you because it definitely surprised me. Again, I just want to preface that this is not saying you have to escape your country. You don't have to escape America. America is a great country. Obviously, we're going through some troubling times right now, but every country really is in general. So wherever you go, there's always going to be issues. So you just have to weigh the pros and cons and see what is right for you. If you want to experience a new culture, if you want to challenge yourself, if you want to learn more, if you want to learn a new language, or, have your children exposed to something new, then moving abroad might be something that's really beautiful to consider. So the first visa option that we're going to talk about is Germany's freelancer visa. And this is great for creatives, for teachers, consultants, for those who are just working independently and can show demand for their work, especially with German clients. It's a long stay permit, which allows you to live and work in Germany as you are building up your business. There is no set income requirement that you have to show, but it's best to show that you can sustainably make 1,200 to about 2,500 euros per month. There are some different things that you're going to have to go through in order to get this visa. You're going to have to show that you have accommodations, that you have health insurance, that you have a demand for your field. So you're going to need to have either proposals, contracts from clients. Again, especially if they're German clients, that would be the best thing that you could do. And you're also going to have a business plan, so keep that in mind. The visa is valid for 1 year with the option to renew, and eventually it can lead to permanent residency, which is amazing. And some regions in Germany allow you to apply for this visa while you're there, but it is just on the safer side best to apply in your home country. The other option I want to talk about is Germany's skilled worker visa. Now, this is not necessarily for people who want to work remotely, but it is a great option if you have one of these skill sets. You might be able to easily get a job in Germany and move you and your family there if you wanted to. So Germany is looking to bring more international talent into certain areas and fields within the country. So some of them, for example, are IT, healthcare, developers, engineers, things like that. But in order to get this visa, you're going to have your skills recognized by Germany. You're also going to have a letter from a German employer who's ready to hire you. So there are some hurdles, but all that to say, if you are somebody with a special, unique skill that they're looking for, you have a much higher chance of getting a job offer and getting this visa. Also in Germany, it's pretty difficult to fire an employee. So if you're looking for more job security, that also might be an option. But there is some good news. In 2024, they opened up the opportunity card, or the Chancenkarte, which allows you to live in Germany for up to a year doing this job hunt. So if you want to search for a job and have a higher chance of actually getting it because you do already live in Germany, you can apply for the Chancenkarte, and then hopefully you can get a job as a skilled worker. So that's another path you can take. I think Germany's a great option. Obviously, if you watch my channel, you know my whole process. I'm trying to get German citizenship through descent. So naturally, I'm a big fan of this one. So then we have Italy's digital nomad visa, and it's relatively new. So when a new digital nomad visa comes out, typically there are some hurdles you have to jump through. Things are always changing, but as of right now, this is the most relevant information I could find. So in order to be qualified for this visa, you have to prove that you are a highly qualified individual, meaning you have a university degree or you've spent 5+ years at least as a skilled worker in this field. You must work for a non-Italian company or clients, and whether you're a freelancer, an entrepreneur, or an employee of a company, it doesn't matter, you can apply for this visa. You have to apply from your home country and prove that you can make 28,000 euros a year at least. You also have to prove that you have private health insurance, you have accommodation, you have a clean criminal record, and you have to have documents showing that you've been working remotely for the past 6 months at least. Now, once you're in Italy, you have 8 days to apply for your permesso di soggiorno, which allows you to live and work in Italy for a year with the option to renew as long as you continue to meet these qualifications. Next up, we have the Czech Republic and their digital nomad visa. This one is a little bit more niche than just being a remote worker. This is more like highly skilled workers, specifically in the tech industries. So if you're somebody who works in IT, cybersecurity, development, or you're a data analyst, a software developer, anything like that, then you would qualify for this digital nomad visa. For this, you also have to have a degree in tech or at least 3 years of experience in that field. For this, you're going to have to prove that you can make around $2,700 to $3,000 a month. You're also going to have to apply for a Czech trades license, also called a živnostenský list. You're also going to have private health insurance, proof of accommodation, and you're also going to have to submit your application from your home country at a Czech embassy. The Czech Republic is such an underrated gem. It's right in the middle of Europe. You have access to all different countries with the train system. It's a safe country. It's absolutely beautiful. It has beautiful nature. It has amazing cities. But yes, just know that this visa option is not open to everybody. It's mostly just for those in tech fields. Next up, we have Norway. Now, Norway doesn't have a specific digital nomad visa, but there is a workaround. Norway's self-employment/independent contractor visa allows people who are non-EU citizens to live and work inside of Norway. So the catch with this one is you're going to have a contract already lined up for a Norwegian client before you go. It can't just be, contracts for people in any country. It has to be for a specific Norwegian client or company. So this is why it's a little bit more inflexible. It's not necessarily like a digital nomad visa, but if you can prove that you have this contract, whether it's for one company or multiple companies, you definitely would be eligible. You're going to have to prove that you are qualified for this visa. So you're going to have to show that you have an education in this area or that you have relevant work experience. You also have to earn around 35,700 euros or 325,000 Norwegian kroners. On top of that, you'll also have to submit a business plan, have proof of accommodation, and a clean criminal record. And this visa you have to apply for in your home country. This visa is definitely not the most flexible option, but if you want to live in Norway or Scandinavia, it is perfect for you if you can get a Norwegian client. Next country we are talking about is Portugal. This is a super popular option, and because it's so popular, I wanted to give 2 different ways to get in, like we did with Germany. And the difference between the visas that we're talking about with Portugal is just how you make your money. So we're talking about the D7 visa first, which is all about passive income. So if you are somebody who, is a retiree and gets retirement income, or you have a house that you rent or whatever, there's a million different ways that you can make passive income. If you can prove that your passive income is consistent month after month, you would qualify for the D7 visa. So how much passive income do you have to make per month? Surprisingly, it's not that much. It's only 820 euros a month, but if you can make closer to 1,000 to 1,200 euros, that's so much better. It's going to look better for you. The D7 visa was originally meant for retirees, but of course, with the whole be your own boss type of thing, and everybody working online these days, people have a lot of passive income, or people try to have more ways of making passive income. Like if you're an investor, if you're an entrepreneur, there's many different ways that you can make passive income to qualify for this visa. The good thing is you'll be able to live in Portugal for 2 years with this visa. It's renewable, and it can lead to permanent residency or even citizenship if you're somebody who loves Portugal that much that you'd want to stay forever. On this visa, you can legally work, but it's not necessarily meant for freelancers or anything like that. And if that would be you would want to look into the D8 visa. This visa is for those who are actively working outside of Portugal. So whether you have a company that you're working for, if you're an employee, or if you're a freelancer, or whatever you do, if you make money from people who are not within Portugal, this would be your option. You have to prove that you can make 3,040 euros a month consistently in order to qualify. You'll also have to apply from your home country. But again, this visa does give you temporary residency for up to 2 years, which you have the option to renew as well. So this visa is the best for freelancers, consultants, coaches, social media people like me, I guess. Any remote employee who wants to take their work abroad. So comparing the two visas real quick, the D7 is for those with passive income who don't actively have to be working in order to make money. They can just look at their computer and have money, or look in their bank account and have money. And the D8 is going to be those who have to work within the country, but for people who do not live inside of Portugal. So if you're looking for a European country that has really fast Wi-Fi and old world charm, Romania might be the country for you. It's a great country for people who want to explore Europe, but on a little bit more of a budget. Romania launched its digital nomad visa in 2022, and it's available for those who are non-EU citizens and work for a non-Romanian company or clients. The visa lasts for up to a year, and it is renewable, which is amazing. In order to apply for this visa, you're going to have to prove that you have made 3,700 euros a month for the last 6 months. You're going to have to show that you have clients, so whether that's a company or your clients, just show the contract. You'll have to have a valid passport, private health insurance, and a clean criminal record. You also have to apply for this visa from your home country. The good news is if you're approved and you're making good money, you're going to have a really great quality of life with the affordability of Romania. And also just, it's off the beaten path. It's less touristy. I personally would love it there. Similarly, we're going to talk about Estonia and their digital nomad visa. This digital nomad visa allows you to stay for 1 year in this incredibly tech-savvy part of Europe. You would be eligible for this visa if you work for clients or a company that is outside of Estonia. Just like the other digital nomad visas we've talked about, there are some other things to consider. You're going to have to make 4,500 euros per month consistently for the last 6 months. You're going to have private health insurance. You're going to have a valid passport, proof of accommodation, and a clean criminal record. And most people apply for this visa from their home country, but if you are in Estonia, there are ways to work around that. So you can bring your spouse and you can bring your children to Estonia with you if you decide to go for this visa. But the good thing is it does allow you to live there longer than 6 months, which is the point of this video. We want to move somewhere for longer than 6 months, right? We don't want to have to be moving around a lot. Next, we have the Croatian Digital Nomad Residence Permit. Croatia launched their Digital Nomad visa back in 2021. There have been some updates to it since. Croatia is just such a beautiful country. It's one of my top ones I'm considering moving to next year. By the way, shameless plug, if you want to watch me go step by step to moving abroad, follow my journey, and maybe follow in my footsteps to do the same thing, definitely subscribe. I'm literally documenting the whole thing. It's going to be financial planning, paying off debt, creating a savings, doing research, learning the language, just the whole thing, getting my dog abroad, the whole everything you can imagine. But again, the Croatian Digital Nomad Residence Permit is going to be for those who work for a company or freelance for clients that are outside of Croatia. The downside is that this is a 1-year temporary residence permit and you can't extend it. But you can reapply after 6 months of being outside of Croatia and do it again. So what you can do is go to a non-Schengen country, which is a whole other topic. But right next door, Bosnia and Herzegovina is actually a non-Schengen zone country. So you could just hop over the border, stay there for 6 months if you wanted to, go back to Croatia and reapply, or go somewhere completely different. You're going to have to show that you can make 2,540 euros a month or have 30,000 euros in your savings in order to apply for this visa. You'll also have to consider adding 10% more to this if you're considering bringing your family along. The good thing is you can apply for this visa if you're already inside of Croatia. So say you went there as a tourist, stayed for 90 days, and you loved it so much you wanted to stay and work there as a freelancer or remotely, you can then apply for this digital nomad residence permit and then have a year and 3 months essentially. But just like the other digital nomad visas, you're going to have proof of accommodation, a clean criminal record, have proof of remote work, and also have travel insurance. So now we're going to talk about Cyprus. This is a tiny island in the Mediterranean Sea, and they have a specific digital nomad visa that's been around since 2021. This visa is designed for non-EU citizens who want to live and work in Cyprus for companies or clients that are not within the country. So if you have a remote job, if you work for a remote company or whatever, or you're a freelancer, have your own business, this could be a perfect fit, especially right in the Mediterranean. How amazing is that? You're going to need to show that you can make 3,500 euros a month after taxes, and it's an extra 20% you're going to have to make on top of that if you're bringing a spouse, and an extra 15% on top of that per child if you're bringing children. Which if you have them, I'm sure they're coming. This visa is valid for up to 1 year, and you can renew it twice, so you can get 3 years out of this digital nomad visa, which is awesome. Again, you're gonna need proof of income, a clean criminal record, you're going to need proof of accommodation and health insurance, and you must apply for this visa outside of Cyprus, usually through an embassy, and the process can take a few months. So that's something to consider. Cyprus also offers really great weather year-round, and it's just a quick trip over to Europe or to the Middle East or wherever you want to go. It's kind of like this Goldilocks spot within the Mediterranean to really go anywhere you want. Next, we're talking Georgia, the country, obviously, and their digital nomad visa. I used to have this program called Remotely from Georgia where you would literally just show up and you could stay for a year. I don't think you had to apply for anything, you just show up. But now they have their actual digital nomad visa. This Remotely program has shifted into this more structured digital nomad visa, which is good. This is for remote workers or entrepreneurs or business owners who work for non-Georgian clients, and you can stay for up to a year, but you do get the option to renew and stay longer if you'd like. To qualify, you need to consistently show that you make $2,000 a month or have $24,000 in your savings account. You can apply online, which is great, and the process usually only takes about 10 days. And if you stay under 183 days, you won't even owe any income taxes. But if you stay longer, you only have to pay 1% in taxes. 1%. Can you believe that? And honestly, Georgia seems like it's just this beautiful, like, hidden gem that most people would probably like skim over in their search for a place to move abroad, but it's nestled right between Europe and Asia. It's on the border of Russia and Armenia and Turkey. And because of that, it seems like it really does have this beautiful blend of culture there. The last one we're going to talk about, and apparently the easiest to get, which I was very surprised by, is the Netherlands and their DAFT visa. So DAFT stands for Dutch American Friendship Treaty. So this is specifically for Americans who are wanting to start a business in Europe. So this isn't necessarily a freelancer visa or a digital nomad visa. It's really for those who want to establish something in the Netherlands. This is basically the easiest and fastest way for Americans to get a 2-year residency inside of the Netherlands. So you're going to register a Dutch business when you apply. You're going to have to provide 4,500 euros, and don't touch that. That's like in an account that you can't touch. You're going to have to also submit a simple business plan and just prove that you can support yourself while you're there. You don't have to have a degree. but the process does take between 4 to 6 weeks to get approved. Once you're approved, you get to stay there for 2 years with the option to renew for up to 5 more years, as long as your business keeps running and is successful and you're consistently making above the 4,500 euros that you have in that bank account. The good thing is that your partner and your kids can also come along, and your partner is also eligible to start working right away because of the visa that you have. And after 5 years, you can apply for permanent residency or even citizenship if that's something that you are interested in. So if you're a US citizen and you're wanting to build a business or build a freelancing business even in another country, specifically obviously the Netherlands, this is an amazing option for you. So there you have it. Whether you're just looking for new weather, or you're seeking a simpler life, or just craving a new chapter, think of these options as invitations for you to design a life that feels more aligned. Imagine waking up every single day feeling inspired and following that nudge that you have inside that's craving some sort of change. If you are caught in this daydream of what if I actually can do this? What if this inner nudge that I'm feeling, this pull that I've always had to live in another country or experience another culture, what if that is telling me that this is something I'm meant to do or meant to explore? What's waiting for me on the other side of that? Subscribe to follow my journey in moving abroad as well. I plan to move abroad in 2026, so I'm already getting started by doing the research, creating savings accounts, and putting my money in all different places. So I'm going to document the entire process from start to finish. And then of course, once I'm wherever I end up, I will be filming there as well. And before I go, I just wanted to say that as of now, I have opened up some time to help those of you who are looking to discover if they're eligible for citizenship through descent. I'm doing some research for you. So those are some services that I'm offering. You can check the link in the description for that. If you've always wondered if you're eligible, but not sure where to start or how to do the research, I love the research. I would gladly do it for you. So you can check that out, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye.